Hey, y'all, if you want a personalized shout out, roast, pep talk, or just an inside joke from Sis and Tell, we are now on Cameo.
Birthdays, breakups, bar mitzvahs, we do it all. So go find us on cameo.com by searching Sis and Tell.
Okay, now on to the show.
Sis and Tell, a whole lot of talk about a whole lot of nothing. Sis and Tell, a whole lot of talk about a whole lot of nothing.
Hey, Allie.
Hey, man, what's going on?
So I spend a lot of time on social media, and a lot of it's with strangers, right? People I don't know. I don't know why I'm defining stranger to you. But I like
People
it
I
when,
have never met, nor will I ever meet in real life.
but sometimes people are asking for advice, which to me, they're just asking for it.
Literally asking for it. Yeah.
And recently someone said, I'm getting married. I don't want any kids at my wedding. How do I phrase it on the invitation so it's nice but also strongly worded?
Yes.
So I'm curious to know what your advice is, and
Yep.
then I'm going to tell you what my advice was. That went viral.
Um, well, I don't think it needs to be framed on the actual invitation, number one. Like, I mean, tradition is that you send the invitation to who's invited. So if it says Amanda and Aaron Marks, your kids are not on the invitation, they are not invited. And I understand, and I'll add to that. So that's the first step is ensuring that it's very clearly marked or written on the envelope, or if it's an Evite, it's very distinctly um, the two people and family and no kids. And then as they RSVP, I think the wording should be something like, we love your kids. We just don't want them at our wedding or something to that extent, right? Very clear. But
Right.
because I would be a little funny, but we can't wait
Mhm.
to see you there, right? As a reminder, no littles allowed or something. And so I think then people know, oh, this is not about them not liking my kids. I see this as a across the board edict so that I'm not taking it personally. Because I think if you don't have it for everyone, and maybe you do make an exception for your niece and nephew, I don't know what that is, but I think you have to be clear because people will take liberties. People will say, "Well, I
Yes, they
couldn't get a
will.
babysitter and I don't have this." It's amazing what people will do because they don't really care about your wishes. So I think to your point, firm, direct, you can be playful and then be ready to also be confrontational because people are going to ignore all of those signs and still try to bring their kids. What did
So,
you suggest?
yeah, so I thought firm and direct, but also a little formalized. So I recommended to write, no effing kids allowed, but but it's a wedding invitation, so you do it in calligraphy. And so so it really makes it all better. If you put anything in calligraphy, then
It
it
does.
becomes, yeah, it
You know, it
changes.
it like it implies a British accent. So if you're reading it with a British accent, it's actually very posh and very poised. Yeah.
So then this led me down a calligraphy rabbit hole, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So first I started thinking, there is someone who gets paid to address envelopes in fancy writing.
Yeah.
And like there's just like having extra money to send out your envelopes to someone to write fancy and calligraphy. And is that still happening? Or people, I'm sure there's a calligraphy font and you can just run your invitations through the printer instead. And can people even read calligraphy? Because it's basically cursive
Yeah.
with a
Yeah.
felt tip pen.
You're not wrong. And I will say, having been the recipient of multiple wedding invitations this year alone, people are still getting people to hand address the envelopes and to do it in a fancy font. And
Okay.
I love that. I mean, but I personally, I haven't sent out an invitation, a real invitation in so long. I mean, even Levi's bar mitzvah, which was now many
Yeah.
years ago, 2017,
Digital
we
invitations.
did totally digital. Totally digital. I wasn't gonna waste it. Now, of course, that's a bar mitzvah, not a wedding. But I think people are doing it. But you're right. I don't think people know how to read calligraphy slash cursive that are younger than a certain age. I don't know what that age is, maybe like younger than 30. Whenever they
Mhm.
stopped teaching cursive in the schools,
It's
I,
not
I might have,
mandatory.
it's
Yeah.
not mandatory. They started when the boys were in elementary school, when Arthur was in elementary school, and then stopped like halfway, like in second or third grade. And Arthur really wanted to learn. And he said, Mommy, will you write out the alphabet for me in cursive so I can learn it? I said, okay. So I wrote it out, and then he brought it to the principal to show her what he wanted to learn, who happens to be one of our best friends. And she said, all of that is wrong. Your mom does your mom does
You're
not
just
know how to
making
write
up,
cursive. Well,
right?
you know, like
Like
the
an S.
Q is
Yeah,
really
the Q,
elusive.
the
Yeah.
S is kind of hard. We're
Yeah.
lucky because we're Goldsteins, so we know the G, but the G could
Yeah,
be
the G's
hard.
so ugly. Look, I upgraded in the cursive realm
Oh, I
from
like
Goldstein to
G.
Lebovitz. I
Yeah.
love the L. The
Oh,
L
the
is
L is a
so
good
liberating. It's such a good cursive. But all of this to say, Arthur apparently did not learn to read cursive because one of his first or second summer, must have been his first real summer at camp for a month. When he came home, he had a stack of letters from Mommy. I don't know if I've told Mommy this. So, Mommy, you're hearing this for the first time, possibly. But he brought a stack of letters because, of course, Mommy writes our kids every day at camp. I maybe write them one time at camp, but for every day for a month, she wrote them. He brought home the stack of letters, and I'm like, that is the sweetest thing that you saved all of Nini's letters. He goes, yeah, couldn't read a single one. They're all in cursive. He goes, I had to bring them home so that you can translate them for me. I'm like, okay. And now I
Cursive.
realize, yeah, that's when I realized that cursive is a secret language.
It is. It's like Yiddish.
It's our version of Yiddish.
Right?
Just write notes in cursive. They'll never know.
They'll never know.
Yeah. Isn't that sad, though, that they don't know what cursive is or how to read it? I know what it is,
Also,
but
I'm curious to know if your kids know how to tell time with an analog clock because I barely know how to tell time with an analog clock. Don't get me started on the anxiety that seeps into my body when someone's like, "What time does that clock say?" And it also has Roman numerals. And then
okay, I'm going to venture to say all of my kids can tell time with an analog clock.
I don't
Whether they
know.
do on a consistent basis because they have
Without
access to analog
without the
clocks.
numbers, but without the numbers.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
yeah.
sometimes it's just dots. Okay, I'm like, what
But
is
you
this?
know what they
Morse
are.
code?
It's not like a clock goes up to 1037.
I know,
There's
right.
only 12 numbers. And then
it
there's, a
takes-
total of 60 ticks. So
I'm really insecure about my analog time telling that, because it's like I feel like you should be able to read it as quickly as you can a digital clock.
yeah.
But when there's just the dots and not the numbers, like of course I know the 12, 3, 6, 9. I know where those are. And then that's when, if there's no numbers in between, I start slowing down to make sure I'm counting the right way.
Well, I don't see many clocks that don't have not numbers, but at least a dash. You know where the 1 and the 2 are,
Well, that's
and
what
the 4 and the 5.
Well, yeah, but I'm
It's
saying
not-
it takes time. But it's
How
not
much
as
time
fast.
does it take?
My point is, it's not as quickly as reading off a digital clock. So it gives me anxiety, okay? Anxiety. It took me forever to learn how to tie my shoe because I was the youngest. I think
Come
we've talked
on,
about this
I
before.
did not
Yeah.
know this.
I
I'm so
was
sorry
like
about the
6.
shoe tying.
I was
Oh.
like 6 or
6?
7. And I was like, "Can someone tie my shoe?" And you were like horrified because I had Velcro. Like this is the thing. This is why I'm like
Right.
you're the older Gen Xer. I'm the youthful
Yeah,
Gen Xer.
thanks.
And there's a difference in our childhoods. Like I don't think you had Velcro like I did. You didn't have
No, I didn't
you-
have one single
yeah,
Velcro
I had
pair
Velcro
of
shoes. I had
No.
digital clocks. I didn't have you grew up without a microwave for a while. Like
Oh, for
like
sure.
I remember putting that
And
chicken
without
pot
cable.
pie.
Yeah.
Like we put that chicken pot pie in the oven and 5 hours later we had chicken pot pie. But but like I remember when we got a microwave. Like we didn't always which means that for most of your childhood we didn't have one.
No, we
Just
didn't have a microwave for my
throughout the
whole childhood. I
70s.
mean,
Yeah.
maybe when I was a teen. No, we
Right.
didn't have any of those conveniences,
So
which
I'm
was also
saying
nice. It was all old school.
conveniences have made me dumb.
I was gonna say because I I don't I don't wear a ton of jewelry, but I love a watch. I love watches, and a lot of my watches are either, I mean, they're all analog, except for my Apple Watch, which I don't wear very much, but a lot of them don't have numbers. They just have dashes, and I've never even thought about it. And I'm pretty sure I can read that as quickly as I can read a digital
But
readout because that's just the only way I knew how to read a clock.
thank you, but not me. Hi.
I'm so sorry.
I had choices, I guess, but not really.
Yeah.
Not really. At least I know cursive. That's
Yeah.
all, you know.
Well, I'm laughing about the Velcro shoes because our kids, of course, had Velcro. I mean, probably until they were 18. I don't know. They wore Velcro shoes for so long. And I distinctly remember, you think about like how you are with your firstborn versus the successive kids. And poor Arthur. I mean, every time he's nervous or neurotic about something, I'm like, I am so sorry. I have totally done this to you because you were the first. And I distinctly remember driving him to his kindergarten orientation, right? He went to our local public school, which was is a magnet school. And as we're driving there, they had sent us a kindergarten ready list. And it was probably this was the meanest thing you could do to a parent, right? It
Was
was
part of it
20 things.
wiping your own tush? Is that one of them?
No, I don't, that was so assumed that it wasn't even. It's not like potty train and you. Yeah, no,
Right.
it was like knows their letters of the alphabet, knows how to add simple numbers, knows how to tie their own shoes, knows how to wash their hands, like little stuff, brushes their own teeth, all that like simple stuff you would take for granted. But I'm looking through the list of like 20, and it's pretty like rudimentary things, and then I'm like, "Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Do you know?" He's in the back seat. We're and the school
On the
is
way to
5 minutes.
kindergarten? You're on the
This
way
is
to
it's
kindergarten
not on
while
the way to
when you
kindergarten,
did
but
this?
it's our kindergarten orientation. It's
Oh
not
my
like they're
god.
kicking him out of
There's an
school.
orientation?
There was
Okay.
like just like to meet the teachers or whatever, but it's not like
And
they're
to
gonna
see his
test him on
dorm.
this. Yeah, to see his dorm. So I'm like, Arthur, I'm reading the list as I'm driving right up the hill, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you only have Velcro shoes. Do you know how to tie a shoe?" He goes, "No, mommy." I was like, "Oh no. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, I think it's okay. I think everybody will have Velcro." Then I'm like, "Okay, can you say your alphabet?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Okay, say it to me." He's like, "A," and he starts singing it, and he's like, LMNOQRS. I go, wait, what happened to P? He goes, "What?" I go, "P, you forgot the P." He goes, "What?"
You're giving me anxiety, and this was 21 years ago.
I'm literally screaming. I'm like,
Oh my
why did you
God.
forget the P? Do it over. He's like, "I don't know
Jeez.
why I forgot the P." And my shoes unvelcroed, right? I'm like, oh gosh. I mean,
Anyway,
seriously. So this
Arthur's
is what
run out of his Xanax,
yes.
and you need to send him more.
So Arthur, you're not listening to this because the boys do not listen to our podcast, but I am so sorry because everything
Jeez.
that you are suffering from as an adult, as a grown man today, is all my fault because
And that
of that
car ride.
that car ride to kindergarten orientation. And you passed kindergarten with flying colors, so
I
you
just
knew all
feel
your
like
stuff.
you also owe me an apology at this point. Because now I'm like, do I know my alphabet?
Can I tie my shoes
How
still?
quickly can I
Because
tie my shoes? Just don't ask me to read a clock.
don't do it. And of course I'm laughing because by the time we got to Levi, I'm like, "Oh my God, did I even take him to any kindergarten orientation?" I'm sure I was basically like, "Here, buy your lunch, go, follow that person into school. I'll see you at 3, right? Just go to the car rider line." I mean, it was so different 3 years later. But
Also, the beginning of the school year, towards the end of the school year, totally different. The beginning,
yes,
you're
yes.
reading all the emails, you're checking on things, you're sending them with whatever they need. The teachers have a list of supplies. You're bringing it in. By the end, you're like, what? Like I remember it was like kindergarten or first grade, and I'm dropping the kids off at elementary school. And we go in the line, and the minivan door slides open, and all the kids pop out, and Oscar turns around and says, "I'm supposed to be dressed like a penguin today. See you at 9 a.m. for my performance." And then the door slides, and then the door slides shut. And I was like, oh my God. And I missed an email about some sort of penguin costume. And I was like, and I messaged the teacher. I rearranged a meeting. Like I had a meeting, and I was like, I'll make the meeting later. And then I was like, oh my God, I have 2 penguin costumes because I inherited them from you. We got most of our costumes from you, including 2 penguin costumes that your kids had
That's so
worn
yes,
at some
because
point at the aquarium.
they did. They wore it for an
Yeah.
aquarium opening for the exhibit. That is so funny. I
then-
forgot about those.
And Oscar, it was like his favorite costume because I was so grateful that we had 2 of them because one was bigger than the other. But you can see him wearing them starting at like age 3, and they so slowly turned from penguin pants to penguin capris to penguin bike shorts. And so
Oh
I
my
grabbed
gosh.
so I grabbed the penguin costumes and I ran back to the school, and I'm running in, and she's just like, oh, Amanda, you didn't need a penguin costume. We just needed a black t-shirt.
I was going to say, how many people actually had
kn-
penguin costumes?
I know, I was like, oh man, I really messed up.
You're like, sorry.
But one time when Aaron I think Oscar was running late or something happened where Aaron had to drive Oscar to school, and I was driving the other kids because it was the very beginning of the year. And all of a sudden, right after Aaron drops Oscar off, I get a call from elementary school. And at this point, Oscar and Ruby were at the upper elementary school, not the lower elementary school. So
Okay.
So the other elementary school called, and I was like, hey, they're like, hey, Amanda, Oscar just got dropped off here, but he doesn't go to school here anymore.
Aaron dropped him at the wrong
He
place.
dropped him at the wrong school. And it was literally like the first week of school.
Oh my
with
gosh.
him so he was just in, when you're in like
Yes,
autopilot,
yes.
and Oscar was like, all right, here I'm, and Oscar didn't even think about it either. And he said, and Oscar's like, as I was walking up to the school, I realized I'm not at the right school.
I'm at the totally wrong
I'm at
place.
the
So how'd they get
wrong
him to the
school.
right building? Did you have
We
to come
had-
get him?
Yeah, we had to go get him.
Oh
But
my
Decatur's
gosh.
tiny, so it
Right,
was
right.
very,
I was going to say, couldn't he walk? Yeah.
oh, it's not that close, but it's, close enough.
All right, I want to circle back to you interacting with strangers on
Yeah,
social media because I've
favorite
been
thing.
thinking, I've been
Yeah.
thinking about this too, but more so it's a one-way interaction, which is I keep following these influencers and not like
What
one
type?
influencer in particular, but it's like if I Google something, this happens to all of us, right? Like this week, Alan and I are into chia seeds. Don't ask me why, but we've been eating chia
Oh,
seeds because it helps
put a- Let's
digestion.
put a pin in the chia seeds because I've got a story.
Okay. And so, and anyway, so as soon as you Google one thing, 1,000 influencers pop up talking about chia seeds or high protein. 1,000 people in their kitchen
my
are
God,
making,
so many. Yeah.
easy 10-minute meals with 55 grams of protein and all this stuff. But I'm watching these and I'm realizing there's definitely a trend to the way they communicate and the way they're trying to emulate really successful influencers. Like we've talked about Melissa Benishai, Baked by Melissa. A lot of the more successful like home cooks and influencers, I can see now they're trying to emulate her and even like reference her like, oh, just
Oh.
like she did it. It's really interesting, but it's stressing me out because I'm thinking they have dedicated their lives now to posting on social media and to basically like content creating
Yeah.
just as a job. And I know this is not anything new. So anybody listening going,
Why is it
duh, this has
stressing
been
you
going around.
out?
It's stressing me out because it's so much work for them to constantly think of all these things. And also the vulnerability of like they're basing their livelihood on popularity.
Yeah.
And to me, that is so messed up and feels like just a recipe, no pun intended, but a recipe for disaster because it's just a lot to be a social media influencer as a job, to do it for fun and to do like you post hilarious videos and even like I'm watching your videos. Alan's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm watching my sister. Leave me alone. I love her. She is so funny. But these like to watch strangers
Shove
and
it,
then
Alan.
but to watch strangers, and I'm guilty of this too, and be like, "Ugh, they're so boring," or "I'm not doing that," right? Like, everybody's judging them,
Yeah,
and for good or bad.
it opens you up to like weird criticism. And I've
Yeah.
noticed when and I get paid once in a while for my content if I meet certain thresholds, which it does not it happens sporadically. And sometimes like I'll get a check from Meta for 57 cents and be like, "Yeah." But I've noticed that if I get more than 1,000 views on something, that's when the creeps come out. And
Really?
it's never women. And it's usually older white men. It's
What do they say?
across the board. They say something about my looks, they'll say something creepy, they'll have just some sort of weird comment. They'll call you a liar about something that doesn't even make sense. Like
Are they just
they're
trolling for the
trolls.
sake of trolling? Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's just these like lonely dudes who don't know how to engage with people. I don't know. But it's usually like when I had a video that went viral on TikTok, and I was really not expecting this to do what it did. And Stuart digitized all these home movies, and he and I would make all those parody commercials like inspired by
Right.
SNL. And we did one for Panasonic Boombox, and I'm in our playroom, which has like the wood paneling, and I'm wearing
You
I'm
can't make this
wearing
one up. You
I'm
cannot
wearing
make
my
this up.
ballet outfit from Steeple Arch, which is like
Yep.
the pale blue, the baby blue leotard, and like the pink Capezio tights. You can see like my underwear sticking
You
out
can see
from
those
it.
panties.
And
Yes.
I'm like 7, and we put on Cyndi Lauper, She Bop, and I
Uh-huh.
took 15 seconds of me dancing awkwardly with next to the boombox and said if TikTok had existed in the 1980s. And it went to 2.1 million views.
Oh my gosh.
And all of the women were
I remember
incredible.
this, but I cannot believe it
Yeah.
went to over 2
But
million
they
views.
were incredibly sweet and supportive, and the amount of people who were like, "Oh my god, I used to do
Right.
dances with my siblings, and this is people." I thought Amanda Goldstein, 1985 Amanda Goldstein was just awkward and not relatable and just weird and quirky, but it ended up being insanely relatable to all these people.
Right.
And then all these old dudes posted like creepy stuff about it, like sexualized it, said weird things, made like Silence of the Lamb references.
What?
It was crazy. It was crazy. And then people also started tagging this one social influencer who is adorable. Her name is
Right. I
Elise
remember all this
Myers,
now. Yes,
because they
yes.
thought they thought I looked like her, and they thought
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh my god, is this Elise Myers?" And they started tagging, but she wasn't even like born in 1985.
Yeah.
She was probably born in the 90s, the late 90s. So then the video got so big, and someone wrote, "I can't believe you would steal this video from Elise Myers and not give her credit. Shame on you." And
And this is way before AI, by the way.
yeah,
So,
this
it's
was
not like
before
you're creating this on
and,
Sora.
and
Yeah.
I was like, this is me. I'm not sure what to do, but I would like credit for 1985 Amanda Goldstein, who, by the way, the videos of me from 85 and the dogs are way more popular than anything I've ever posted. It's always 1985 Amanda and the dogs
Yeah.
that go viral on my social media. It's unpredictable for me.
Yeah.
So,
But I love what you said about 1985 Amanda had no idea she was relatable. She felt like she was sort of quirky and isolated. And I
yeah,
think that must be, at least for a lot of people, the impetus for posting, because they don't have to feel isolated and they don't have to feel like they're the only ones struggling to be, this kind of person or woman or father or grandparent. And they're not the only kid who, loves to bake and wants to share their talent. Right. So people are trying to find community, and there's many are successful at it through this, but
right,
it's just, it's back to the same old question, is the authenticity of that community and
right.
being more connected than ever and less connected than ever. And it's just Okay, so now more than stressing me out about these social influencers are the people who are trolling the social
Yeah.
influencers and the creeps.
What I also learned is not to respond to them, and
Yeah,
that your followers will stand up for you if you
yeah,
just give it time. And that's always what happened. People have been like, hey, what are you doing? And also I just delete negative comments, which is
right.
more empowering than
And or block
responding.
people. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So what about the chia seeds?
So I think Ruby must have been watching the same videos at one point. It's like a year ago. She became obsessed with chia seeds and wanted the overnight oats with chia and chia pudding and chia this. And then she proceeded to turn the entire backyard into like a chia pet because she realized, because you know what, those seeds are not different from the seeds you would get in the chia pet kit that you would spread on the like the pottery in the shape of a head.
What?
It's the same
No.
thing. It's the same thing.
Okay. I was today years old when I
Yeah.
learned that. That makes total sense. Chia pet. Oh my gosh, I never put those two together.
It's
I'm an
the
idiot.
same, and I
Okay.
don't know if you can remember. Did you ever have a chia pet?
No.
Okay, well, because it would get that.
I can picture it because I can
Yeah.
picture the
And then you
commercials.
you wet it, and then you spread it on the pottery, and it would get
Okay.
that it forms like a gel almost when it's
Yes,
wet.
yes. It's like
And
a pudding almost.
yeah,
It's viscose.
so
Wait a second. Am I growing a chia pet inside my intestines right now?
yes,
'Cause
that's why it
freaking me
takes
out.
up space. Yes, you are. Well, you're probably not very quick. I don't think there's not enough time for that to happen, but it is
Oh
getting the little
God.
gel around it. No, but she
Yes.
started planting chia everywhere. But it was cute. She took our sidewalk, which we had little pavers, and started putting chia seeds in between. She was just curious, and then we were
Yeah.
growing. It was like moss growing there, and then she took our pots and put them upside down and was spreading chia. She was just wanting to know what would happen. And then it rained one day, and all these chia seeds went all over the back deck, and we had chia growing
Oh, that's
in
disgusting.
all the cracks. No, it's just little sprouts. It's not like
Yeah, but
it's not like we're
okay.
growing donuts. I don't know.
You're basically growing weeds. You're purposely
Yeah.
growing
It's
weeds.
little
Yeah.
sprouts. It's little sprouts. They're cute, but she turned the entire back deck into chia. So,
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Well, we're just drinking. I have been putting it in my Greek yogurt, and
yeah.
it's for fiber, things like that. And I get on these kicks, and then after about 5 days I sort of forget. But
It'll make you poo poo. I just have to say,
well,
if you're
Al and I
having
are like officially old people now. He's like, here we are drinking our chia in the morning, I like it because you have to let it soak for a little bit so it does blow up and it doesn't just blow up in your stomach. And by blow up I mean expand if you've
Yeah.
never eaten a chia seed. But it is sort of like those little bobas, which I don't eat bobas, but I imagine they taste the same because it's little bubbles, like little like
Yeah, they're
water bubbles, and they
Bobas are
get
better.
stuck in your they get stuck in your teeth. And so like,
Uh-huh.
a few hours later you're like, "Oh, look, an afternoon snack."
Gross. Okay. Keep that to yourself.
Yeah.
Or to our entire audience for the podcast.
But it's only been like day 4. So we'll see if the chia works. I don't know.
So I would, back to social media and our podcast. I guess we'll know success when we get more trolls. Because the only
Oh.
time we really don't have any trolls. Like all of our
Well,
ratings
don't
are.
encourage them.
I know. Well, we had one troll, but that was because I had created a Sis and Tell bumper sticker, and Aaron was driving the car and
Right.
cut someone off, and then they're like, "But we already talked about that," and they left a nasty review of our
Yes.
driving on our podcast.
Of our driving, which
Of our
wasn't even
driving.
our driving.
It was not our driving. And you know I was investigating what day it was, what time it was to figure
Oh,
out
yeah.
if it was me driving or Aaron, and the conclusion was Aaron. I love
Right.
you.
It's
I
like
love
getting
you.
a ticket from the speed camera and saying, "I was not even in town that day. Who was in the car?" Uh-huh. All right, so we're going to end with bandwagon, which is just the Olympics are over. I don't know what I'm going to watch now because I have been obsessed for 3 weeks, but I am so proud of the women's and men's USA hockey teams for both taking home the gold.
Oh my
I
God.
may or may not have cried. They are so
Pictures.
awesome.
There's a picture of one of them smiling, and I didn't know it was one of the hockey players at first. And I was like, what happened to that Olympiad's tooth?
Oh, Well, that's Jack Hughes.
And
He
then
had the golden goal.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, he's a hockey player. That makes sense. Like, there's certain sports that you just have to have like no ego because it messes up your face.
Yeah.
And hockey is hockey and boxing.
Yes.
Those are two of them. Like, you just kind of have to be okay with your mussed up face because of your sport.
Okay, so this is the cutest thing. So that's Jack Hughes who shot the winning goal in overtime against Canada, and he and his two brothers all play for the NHL. And his brother Quinn they're both on the USA Olympic hockey team. His brother Quinn shot the winning goal in one of the semifinal. I know way too much about hockey at this point, but anyway, so Jack lost. He's lost that tooth before, but it got cracked in the middle of the game, and they were telling the story this morning on the Today Show about he could tell his tooth got knocked out, and then they're searching for it on the ice, and then Quinn looked at him. His brother's like, "Oh, Jack, you don't look so good." He's like, "But it's okay. It's just a little chipped." Not really, but everybody knows him now. He and his brother look a lot alike, but they know him now. He's so identifiable because of the missing tooth. And this morning, Jack said, all I can think about is getting my teeth fixed. I mean, this happens to hockey players all the time. He
I'm
goes, but
sure.
I cannot get my teeth fixed fast enough just so I can like sort of get out of the spotlight and also look normal because he's so adorable. But it was a great Olympics. I think Winter Olympics are for many reasons the less popular of the two. But I was obsessed with every sport, and it was such a great way to end. I think we mentioned this before, especially because we got to go to Olive Garden in the 80s with the 1980 Miracle Team, their captain, Mike Ruzioni. He came to Birmingham for a public appearance, and I've thought about that and talked about that for 46 years. And and now I feel like, having that winning game
Full
on the
circle.
exact same day, right, on February 22nd, literally 46 years later, and having the men's hockey team win the gold that same day was just such a full circle moment and awesome.
And I just wanted to take this moment to formally invite the Hughes brothers out with me and Allison to Olive Garden. It's not as nice as it was to us in Birmingham, Alabama in the 1980s, but,
Yes.
never ending breadsticks and pasta.
On
Like,
us, Hughes brothers.
On
us.
On us. Well, thanks for listening to the latest Sis and Tell podcast. Don't forget to share us with your friends, share us with your family, share us with your foes.
As always, this has been Amanda and Allison with a whole lot of talk about a whole lot of nothing. We'll catch you next time.